so he's not with us. But we will proceed. And the first item of business is the readout of actions in closed session. Our clerk will do that, please. Marcia Milchiker.
Thank you, President Padberg. On a 6-0 vote with Trustee Wagner absent, the board approved not to renew an administrator's contract. On a 6-0 vote with Trustee Wagner absent, the board approved a settlement agreement with a classified manager. On a 6-0 vote with Trustee Wagner absent, the board approved termination of an employee of employment of a classified employee. And those are the actions taken in closed session.
All right. And if you would all please stand, Trustee Milchiker will lead us in the invocation. Remain standing, and I'll lead in the pledge.
The Bible says, "The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones. Many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many by the edge of the tongue. Tonight, may we lift up instead of sinking down. May we heal instead of break. May we learn by being supportive of one another in the best tradition of our 40-year-old, almost 50-year-old community college district and of our wonderful colleges, Saddleback College, Irvine Valley College, and our newest site, ATEP. And may we all have a wonderful meeting and a wonderful holiday season. Thank you. Amen.
Thank you. Please join with me in honoring the flag of our great nation. I pledge the allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Please be seated. We're very honored tonight to have Commissioner Lyle Robertson of the Laguna Hills Harbor Court here to swear in our newly elected trustees. And our newly elected trustees are myself, Trustee Milchiker, and TJ Prendergast, right there. So I would like to invite Commissioner Robertson forward to the podium over there, okay? And then the newly elected trustees to stand in front of the dais here and take the oath of office, okay?
First of all, please let me thank you for allowing me to participate in this very solemn and important occasion. Would you please raise your right hands and say aye and state your name?
I, Marcia,
and repeat after me. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
All right, and we will now adjourn to our organizational meeting. And the first item of business in the organizational meeting is the election of officers of the newly installed trustees, as well as the existing board members. So with that, I'll open the floor for nominations. Trustee Milchiker.
I move to...
Push your button so we hear you.
I move to nominate Trustee Nancy Padberg as the President of the Board of Trustees.
Second.
Okay, thank you. All right. Any other nominations?
I wish to nominate Marcia Milchiker as President of the Board.
Thank you so much, Trustee Fuentes. I really appreciate that, but I humbly decline right now. I don't want to serve as president right now, but I appreciate your vote of confidence. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anything else? All right. All those in favor of the motion, please press the yes button. I'm not seeing the button press. Is there a problem? All right, let's just raise your hand, all in favor of the motion. All right, opposed? Okay, one opposed, and the rest are in favor. Thank you. All right, and now we are at the election of the vice president. Trustee Jay.
I would like to nominate T.J. Prendergast.
Okay, second, I'll second that. Any other nominations? Okay. All in favor, please raise your hand. All right, any opposed? Okay, unanimous election. All right, and now we're at the point of electing our clerk. Do I hear a motion for our clerk? Trustee Jay.
I move nomination of Trustee Milchiker
Okay.
as the clerk of the board.
Okay. Second. Thank you. Any other nominations? All right, all in favor of Trustee Milchiker as clerk, please raise your hand. All right, unanimous. Very good. All right, and at this time, we will appoint the secretary and assistant secretary to the board. And I will make the nomination that we appoint our chancellor as the secretary, and we'll do the assistant secretary separately. Second. All right, all in favor, raise your hand, please. Okay. Welcome, secretary.
President.
Yes.
I don't believe that a chair can make a motion.
All right, well, if that's the case, I'll have to look it up in Robert's rules, but I'll take your word for it at this time.
I'll nominate the
All right.
the secretary as
Chancellor.
the chancellor as Chancellor Portner.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? All right. Now we'll have the assistant secretary. That would be David Bouguet, who's the vice chancellor.
I nominate David Bouguet as the assistant secretary to the board.
Second by Trustee Williams. All in favor? Raise your hands. All right. Unanimous. Very good. And at this point, we have to appoint our trustee representatives. And that would be to all the various committees. So let's take a look at all of those. They are listed for us under 2.5. Now, let's see. Okay, that would be representatives to the nominating committee, to the Committee on School District Organization. We need to have one and an alternate, and in the past, we've had that person be, I believe, Trustee Milchiker has done that in the past. Is that correct?
I've done it in the past, but
Okay.
I'd give an opportunity to someone else to take on that position
All
if
right.
they would like
Anyone
to.
who would be interested in that? We need to have someone volunteer or a nomination. Who is our current representative to that nominating committee? Trustee Williams? Okay, Trustee Williams. All right. How about Trustee Pendergast?
Yeah, I'll nominate Trustee Pendergast to that. It's not a very difficult position. You need to meet. You need to meet once a year, and if there are any reorganizations, like they do redistricting of any of the trustee areas, then you have to go to those meetings. So generally, it's only one meeting a year, so it's not really
Not a big job.
an enormous job.
And I'm sure that Trustee Milchiker can train you if need
Yeah,
be.
I could train you, and if you can't make it, I'll be the alternate if you want.
All right.
So.
It's been moved and seconded, and all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, any opposed? Okay, and who would the alternate be? Let me see. How about Trustee Milchiker? You want to?
Okay, I could be the alternate because I've
Volunteer
done
for
it
that?
before. So.
All right, anyone want to volunteer? All right, you're nominating Trustee Milchiker as the alternate. Second? You're a second? All right, very good. All in favor? All right. No,
Aye.
any opposed? Thank you. All right, now the district's political action representative to the Orange County School Boards Association, and you've done that, Ms. Trustee
I've
Milchiker.
done that, but I'd like to have somebody else have an opportunity to do that.
This seems to be a recurring theme here, doesn't it?
Trustee Lang, would you like to do that position? Or?
All right, great. All right. Any opposition to Trustee Lang doing that? All right, very good. That's going to be our new political action representative. And there's a liaison to the Orange County Community College Trustee Association. And you've done that too, haven't you, Trustee Milchiker?
Yeah,
Trustee Milchiker is our longest-serving trustee.
Yeah, I would nominate Trustee Fuentes if he would be interested in doing that position.
Yes, he's doing the legislative task force, so why don't we see if we can find someone else who could do this? Maybe.
Do you want to continue doing the legislative task force?
All right,
Okay,
very
okay.
good. And we need an alternate for that position, too.
I'll be the alternate.
You're
for
the
that.
alternate, so Fuentes and Milchiker are alternate. And then how about the liaison to the Orange County Community College Trustee Association? Trustee Jay, you have been very quiet.
I nominate Trustee Jay.
Thank you. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Trustee Jay. All right, one last representative, and that's the Orange County Transportation Authority Stakeholders Working Group. I've done that, and I have to say that there hasn't been a meeting in the past year of that group. So I think we can probably take it off of our list. It's sort of just dissolved. So if it reactivates, then we can appoint someone, if that's all right with everyone. Okay, very good. All right, so we are finished with, I believe, our organizational meeting. And we need to just take a break and change chairs. Pardon?
One comment real quick.
Yes.
Not listed is the district's audit committee, and that was
Oh, right.
You're
composed of
right. You're absolutely right.
Trustee Milchiker, myself, and Trustee Wagner.
Absolutely.
three of
Two
us
of the
have
three
been on.
committee members won't be, but in another meeting, you'll need to fill 2 more positions on that. I don't think
Yes.
it's agendized.
It is an agenda, so we'll do that at our next meeting, but thank you for bringing that out. And I know that Trustee Lang has been on that as well. All right, if we could just take a moment before we move to resolutions. Yes, Robina.
You have to agree to the board meeting dates.
Oh, in the organizational meeting? Okay, so if you all have the board dates in front of you, let's take a look at that, please. That's Exhibit D.
I move the acceptance of the board meeting dates as listed.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Do I hear a second to Trustee Milchiker's motion?
Second.
All right, this is a second. And I understand Trustee Lang has a problem with the 31st of January. However, that meeting has been established. I know we went through this some time ago, trying to come up with a January meeting. What is your difficulty?
Unfortunately, I have a national board members meeting in work on this.
Oh, okay.
Is,
I'm hoping to perhaps find another slot on the calendar.
I would suggest that the Rabina perhaps mention the dates that we have available because we've gone through this several times.
Right.
So, Rabina, do you have a list of the dates that you found previously?
Don't
that
we
the board
all have
members
this calendar?
come?
We all have the calendar in front of us, yes. And the only date apparently available would be the 28th.
Wasn't the 11th available?
Well, that's for our special meeting. I think it's a little early to do our regular meeting on the, yeah.
No, I thought.
Well, but
The
you have
13th, I
to
think, is
remember
available.
that I don't think, well, I'll ask Rabina to give a comment about that. Coming back from the holiday, I don't think a week is enough time for them to get an agenda together for the 13th. We were talking about a special meeting, which is different than trying to put together a whole agenda. And originally it had been set on the 24th. Is that correct?
Originally, we were going to have a regular meeting on the 18th,
18th.
and all board members members could not make that date, so we then went to the 31st.
Right.
The only two options now would be the 20th or the 28th.
Okay.
Move to amend to the 28th.
That second. All right. Everyone are.
What about the 20th? You don't like the 20th? Because that's a Thursday. It's Friday night.
Friday night is a tough time for a
28.
meeting.
It's a tough time to have a board meeting for staff, I think. So, so I prefer the 20th to the 28th or the 13th.
Yeah.
All right, I withdraw that and move to make it the 20th.
20th
All right.
would be better. Thank you.
Is that all right, Bill, with you? Okay. Any objections to the 20th for our January meeting? All right, looks like that's our January meeting. All right, very good. And with that, we'll just change that to the 20th on our exhibit, and I'll entertain a motion to accept all the other meeting dates.
I move.
Pardon? Oh, I'm sorry, who had a question?
I wanted to let you know that there are further exhibits to the organization.
Oh, no, we will go through those. I just wanted to see if I could get a motion on all the meeting dates.
Okay, yeah, I move to
Okay.
a second to accept all the meeting dates as stated.
All right, and let's see if our buttons are working. Can we vote? No, it's still not working. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Very good, thank you. All right. Then the next is Exhibit E, and that is our board agenda planning calendar. If you would take a moment and look at that. Exhibit E, it's 2 pages, and we need to accept this planning calendar.
Move to accept.
We've already moved one date, January 31st.
One quick, amendment would be to change the Monday, January 30th.
To the 20th. Thank you. Okay.
Accept the amendment.
Okay, very good. Any other comments? All right, I have a motion, do I, and a second? I'm trying to remember. Okay, moved by Trustee Jay. And, all right, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All right, very good. All right, the next item is F, and that is the outline of our meetings. Okay? Second. All right. All right, let's try voting by our buttons, please. Trustee Jay? All right, very good. Now, I believe we're through the organizational meeting, correct? No?
G, and you need to appoint a treasurer.
Where's G? You're talking about the Facilities Corp? That's a different meeting. Yeah, we'll adjourn to that. But before we do it, we're going to take just a brief break so we can switch chairs with the newly elected officers and names. The staff needs to come out and switch names. So we'll take about a 5-10 minute
And
break.
I'd like to introduce some members of my family that came in for
Sure, go
the
ahead.
swearing in.
Yes.
I really want to thank the members of my family that always come for when I'm sworn in to the Board of Trustees, and my husband, Dr. Ben Milchiker, and my son, Aaron, and my daughter-in-law, Ishun.
Okay,
So-
stand up, please.
Stand up.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. All right, and you have your family here, Trustee Fuent, pardon me? Yes, it is. Trustee Prendergast family's here too?
Yeah, in fact, my wife, Christy,
Okay. Stand up.
my
Hi,
daughter,
Christy.
Rowan,
Daughter.
my other daughter, Riley,
Hi.
my father, Tom Prendergast Jr.,
Oh, you're the third,
and
right.
my stepmother, Carolyn.
Wonderful. Thank you for coming. Great. Thank you. Okay, with that, we'll take a 5-minute break, and hopefully it won't take longer than that to get our chairs switched and the nameplate switched.
No, I think so.
Which again will be
Match with Pro IBC, right.
donations for the scholarship.
Right.
Actually
At least
did
two.
my real job well.
That's what I got hired to do.
Okay. Let's talk about the IBC party,
Oh, yeah.
can,
When Ellen Hancock starts beating us, we're in trouble.
But
Salaries, yeah. Not yet. They're like they can hear it first.
And the raffle should raise enough money for 2 to 3 scholarships.
Fine. You checking out the agenda here? Or you,
I'm scheduling all the board meetings for the rest of the year.
Oh, wow. There you go, Louis.
Drive for drive.
You lucky devil.
Plus, we're having the raffle sale to raise scholarship money.
yeah, but this one is one thing, then after.
Okay, all right.
Classifies and is also
Oh,
because the scholarship is.
Hey, John.
Okay.
This is out.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think.
I feel so good about the decision. My wife is ecstatic.
Yes, I miss your life.
Donations will be
Well, that's the end.
Donation for needy families.
donation for our students, but I want to say this for our students.
Are they for our students?
EOPs.
Oh, okay. Then I would say that.
Classifies and is also organizing at the party. Drive-through drive.
I would just say a food drive. Take the drive. Food drive to benefit EOPS students and families. EOPS students and families.
The first Monday in January, so well, I'm up to here.
Yeah.
Budget issues with the county.
Or under, no,
Yeah.
I take the vacation each year. And I come back. I'm there.
All raffles or they don't call them raffles. What is it?
And with the economy, we went last year at the same time. Room rates are down here.
Also at the IBC because it's like,
The restaurants, beautiful.
there is a numerous Should I have to say that?
What's that?
Should I need to say this because this is excellent?
You don't have to
The
say
whole
that.
college is not a classified.
Okay, then don't say it. Just take it out. That's enough. I already have too many things. You only get 2 minutes.
Well, but
Yeah.
I need to say about we're still
All you do is do great.
building our logo or building, describing, sketching.
Oh, designing.
Designing.
Yeah.
yeah, she's a saint.
Putting up with me.
Don't forget to mention overthrowing.
Logo and also updating our website.
Oh.
All right, if I could have the Chancellor, please, and the trustees, or where's Trustee Milchiker? What happened to her? Is she coming? Here she comes. All right. All right, we will reconvene at this time at the Facilities Corporation, which is a separate meeting. So we'll go to the Facilities Corporation meeting, and I'll call that to order. And the agenda item states that the President recommends the Board of Trustees elect the same persons holding membership on the South Orange County Community College District Board of Trustees as directors of the South Orange County Community College District Facilities Corporation to a term of office extending until the date of the next organizational meeting. All right, and I have a second? Let me just further this, read what else is said and see if you have a problem with incorporating that into the motion. The President further recommends that the Board of Directors elect a President, a Vice President, Secretary, and Treasurer to a term of office extending until the date of the next annual organizational meeting. And I believe that would be the same officers as the President. No, okay. No, the treasurer, we would need to make our Vice Chancellor of Finance, David Bouguet, I believe, yes. So let's just vote on the first paragraph first, which is what Trustee Fuentes' motion is, and then we'll come to the next one because it's a little complicated. So we'll vote on the first motion. Okay, all right, that passes unanimously. Then the second one is to incorporate the officers of the board of directors with one addition, and that would be the treasurer, and that would be Vice Chancellor Bouguet. Do I hear a motion for that?
So second.
All right, all in favor, vote please. Okay, very good. That passes unanimously. And we will now adjourn the Facilities Corporation and go back to our regular meeting. And that will be item number 2.6, resolutions. And we do have some resolutions at this time. And I'm going to ask our Chancellor to take this resolution, and we'll ask Trustee John Williams to join him at the podium. Would you like to read this, or do you want me to read it? Yeah, take it down there and read it, okay? For those of you who aren't aware of it, Trustee Williams has tendered his resignation as trustee effective the end of this month. So we're doing a resolution honoring Trustee Williams.
Level by serving on the Legislation and Finance Commission and the Trustee and Staff Development Commission of the Community College League of California, and as a panelist in the National Futures Assembly Conference for the community colleges. And whereas John S. Williams was a member of the second graduating class of Saddleback College and continued to actively support the college as a member of the Foundation Board of Governors and as a volunteer track and field coach. And whereas due to the leadership of John S. Williams and the Board of Trustees, our district has achieved some of its greatest accomplishments in a 43-year history, such as reaching an enrollment of 25,000 full-time equivalent students, an all-time level of capital construction and renovation, a board policy setting a 7.5% reserve, retirement of all debt, and being one of the first districts in the state to fully fund its retiree liability. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees and the Chancellor of the South Orange County Community College District do hereby express their deepest appreciation to John S. Williams for his 18 years of dedication to faculty, staff, and administrators throughout our district, and enduring commitment to generations of students attending Saddleback College and Irvine Valley College. And can you read the resolution for the trustees?
Trustee Fuentes.
Aye.
Trustee Jay.
Aye.
Trustee Lang.
Aye.
Trustee Milchiker.
Aye.
Trustee Padberg.
Aye.
Trustee Wagner. Oh, sorry.
Trustee Prendergast. Trustee Williams. Student Trustee Shea.
Okay, congratulations.
Congratulations.
I have it turned on. Can you put the mic up a little more towards you? No? Get closer. It is on.
There we go. Now it's on.
All right, perfect.
Okay, good evening. I have just some short comments I had to make. And, well, it's been my absolute honor and pleasure to serve as a member of the Board of Trustees the past 18 years. And I want to thank the taxpayers and the voters for giving me the opportunity to serve. I have many fond memories of my years of service, which include, top of the list, presenting my son Ian and my daughter Lauren with their associate degrees at Saddleback College. And I have to say it was a big thrill in the early days, especially on the board, to present service pins to the faculty members that were my professors when I attended Saddleback from 1969 to 1971. And I've made some notes. I won't name all the names, but I recall serving with 8 individuals who served as chancellor or acting chancellor and 15 individuals who have been fellow trustees the past 18 years. And we've come a long way since 1992. The district student population has grown from 10,000 to over 40,000 total students, with over 25,000, as you know, full-time equivalent. Capital improvements have been made on both campuses, many new buildings to serve our students, and growth of the internet technology has been phenomenal. And I had to comment on IT especially. I recall attending a tech conference in 1993 or 1994 where there was actually a show of hands among the attendees for how many districts were actually on the World Wide Web then. It wasn't the internet, it was the World Wide Web. And I couldn't raise our hand. We weren't yet. Now both campuses are hardwired with fiber optic lines, wireless service, and we're still going. We've got several thousand students taking online courses. It's just been a phenomenal growth in technology, and we've met that challenge as a board and a district to serve our students and keep them at cutting-edge technology. We've got a lot to be proud of. The district is debt-free. We're still expanding higher ed services to the community, and we have 2 nationally recognized colleges and, as you know, a further campus in development. I want to thank the members of the college community and my fellow trustees for your support over the years, and I truly look forward to spending more time with my family. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Williams, stay there. I believe we have some other people who want to speak to you. All right. Very good. President Rockmore, did you have anything you wanted to say? Just a moment.
Well, Trustee Williams, what I have here is a resolution and a combination of being in my 3rd day of a cold and also the length of this. We'd be until 9 o'clock until I had it read for you. But suffice to say, it's full of wonderful appreciations for all that you've done for the district and Irvine Valley College and the students. And just to let you know, besides my signature, you have Lisa Davis Allen, the Academic Senate President, and also Angela Mahaney, the Classified Senate President, here as well. Thank you very much.
All right, and President Burnett.
You got one more there, Trustee Williams. On behalf of Saddleback College, we are very sad to see you retire from the board after 18 years. You are one of the college's first alums, and you are one of our dearest friends. You will be greatly missed. So that you know that you're always welcome at Saddleback College, I'm honored to present to you the key to our college. And unfortunately, it was too quick notice, so we got this temporary thing here instead of the final key in the plaque, which it says, the key to Saddleback College symbolizes the trusted friendship of John Williams with our students, employees, and community, and is presented in appreciation of his dedicated leadership. Thank you once again.
All right, very good. Congratulations and best wishes. All right, and with that, we I don't believe have any more. We do have some more resolutions, but they'll come up with items, but not separately. Are there any requests for the public to speak? No requests. All right, we will go to oral reports, and first will be the board reports. We will be advancing a few items to the front of the agenda before the consent calendar, and we'll talk about that after the board report. So we'll start with Trustee Jay.
Yes, I want to thank two special friends. The first one is John Williams, who I remember running for the board unsuccessfully with you the first time in 1988, and when we finally got you elected, John, and you certainly have been a stalwart figure and lent yourself to the stability of this board and this district, and I appreciate it very much, and you are a special friend, and thank you. Secondly, and most importantly, I might add, Rubina. I was very sad when I got the letter that you were retiring, Rubina, on January 1st. I hope the board doesn't approve it. We'd love to keep you around. You deal with such great aplomb with all the big egos and from board members and administrators and faculty members and everybody who come up and lay it on you. And you always have a smile for everyone. You have a very positive view of the world, and we just all love you, kiddo. And goodbye, and Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year, and all that good stuff. We love you, kiddo. Bye.
All right, Trustee Williams.
Yes, very brief, my last report. Robina, I want to wish you well and thank you for your years of service to the district. I've appreciated working with you. And two activities. I attended last week a Faculty Association reception, and I would like to thank them for their hospitality. And I attended the district administrator's function last Friday afternoon. We presented quite a few service pins. I believe the longest term employee was 35 years, I believe, President Burnett from Saddleback College. So, and Trustee Milchiker received her 25-year service pin. So congratulations. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Trustee Milchiker.
And I am wearing my 25-year service pin.
Is your mic on? Okay.
Is it on? Okay, now it's on. I am wearing my 25-year service pin, and want to thank Bob Bermici for presenting it to me. I really appreciate it very much. And I want to say a fond farewell to Trustee Williams, John Williams. We've served together for 18 years, and he's brought a lot of really good things to the district, and things that people don't even know about, and served it. He's always loved the district, always really held it close to his heart, always had the best in his heart for the district, and we will miss you and wish you Godspeed in your future endeavors. And also, Rubina, I was devastated to hear that get the letter that you're retiring too, but you sent us a list of chancellors that you have served under, and you've certainly always been professional and gracious and calm and a really wonderful advocate to the district office, and we'll miss you greatly, and maybe we could change your mind. I don't know what we could offer you, but thank you so much for your service, and keep in touch, and both of you. John, keep in touch also. And I want to welcome TJ Pendergast. We're really excited about working with you, and looking forward to some very good years, 4 good years together, and serving together and doing really excellent things with the district, and keeping up the excellence that we truly have. And I just want to mention a few things I attended. I attended the winter dance performance at Saddleback College, which is a wonderful dance performance put on by the students, and actually it's choreographed by the faculty, and it was just a wonderful performance and a culmination of all the work of all the dance teachers. And a friend of mine is a part-time dance instructor. She's been a dance instructor for many, many years. Her name is Sharon Haas, and as always, her students did a fabulous job, as well as all the other students. I also attended, as usual, the Feast of Lights at Saddleback College, and here our wonderful orchestra director, Carmen Dominguez, did a fabulous job, and Scott Farthing is our choral director, and I have another friend, Iris Rosenfeld, who's in the chorus, and another friend who's my son's pediatrician, who's been in the chorus forever. His name is Wes Kim, Dr. Wes Kim, and it's just an incredible performance. And if you didn't make it this year, please attend next year. They sing songs of the season and do caroling. And I want to wish everybody a very good holiday. I am going to be attending a few things coming up. I'm going to be attending the nurse pinning ceremony, which will be held at Leisure World, Clubhouse 5 this year. And I have some friends who are in the nursing class. And as you know, our nursing program is #1 in the nation for 2 years in a row. So I'm looking forward to attending that. And one of the athletic team, one of the athletic team ending of the year ceremonies, I'll be attending that also. So I'm looking forward to a very good end of the year and the beginning of next year. And have a very, very happy holiday, happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas and happy Kwanzaa, and looking forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you, Trustee Milchiker. All right, and our newest trustee, TJ Pendergast. Do you have a report?
Sure.
Well, we all want to know about that big thing that's right there in front of your face.
Yeah, I think, yes, very, very gracious thank you to Todd Burnett for a gift basket here full of all sorts of Saddleback College goodies that it'll take me probably a week to go through and see what's all in there. Things stuffed, plus a little briefcase here for me to keep organized. I guess I can ditch the backpack I still wear. Just an amazing amount of outpouring of support from all avenues, from my fellow trustees. Thank you very much for all your kind and encouraging words during the campaign, during the counting process, and then when the final announcements and here today. So thank you very, very much for that. I would also like to thank Rubina for all the hard work she's done the whole 2 weeks I've known her. And I was shocked, even though I haven't been involved very long, but I do appreciate the 3 or 4 things you did for me, and I will miss you even in that regard. I also would like to mention I attended the reception on Friday. That was very neat to see how long people have been involved and how happy people are that they have been involved in that long, involved in an organization that long, and it gives me a lot of pride to know that I'm going to be helping be a part of that in the future, and so that was very encouraging and positive. I also attended the Feast of Lights on Sunday, and Carmen, excellent job. I was remiss in an afterthought that we didn't bring my children. They would have thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm very, very anxious to meet this one violinist you have, Kaylee Prendergast, I think is how you say her name. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that, but I think I got it right. I'll be anxious to meet her. And again, thank you very much, everyone, for all your support.
All right, wonderful. Well, I'll try and keep my report short, but Rubina, we're all just shocked, and we're going to miss you tremendously, but you'll come back, I'm sure. We'll find a position for you if you want to come back. Just let us know to work. And, of course, I did attend the Faculty Association reception and the District Administration recognition of staff and all the awarding of pins. Saddleback football, several of their games, and including the last conference game. And we're having sound problems out here. I'm not sure what that's all about. All right. So, and the Feast of Lights last night. I went, and President Burnett had a special reception before the ceremony with carolers out along with food, and it was wonderful. Thank you for that, President Burnett. And Carmen, telephones? Oh, cell phones. Be sure your cell phones are off. Apparently that's causing our noise. If they're vibrating, that will create a problem. So even if you have them on vibrate, please make sure they're off. Mine isn't. I'll put mine on the chair, so hopefully that wasn't it. So in any event, Carmen, great job. And I did have two my friends' children. Actually, they're not children because they were in the symphony, but we're playing in the symphony. So it's a marvelous involvement. So marvelous involvement in, I'll get together with you afterwards, in the just beautiful music, and you do it every year, and great job. And, of course, farthing with the vocal group. Wonderful. All right, that's the end of my report. So we'll go to Trustee Fuentes.
First, John and Robina, to both of you, thank you, and good health and Godspeed in both of your futures. Please do stay in touch with us. And to TJ, welcome aboard. I'm sure your participation will be meaningful. The Legislative Task Force had the opportunity to meet, and the Legislative Task Force firmed up its arrangements for our January luncheon at the Capitol for legislators of the Education Committee, and our annual breakfast for legislators in March. Members of the board, you'll be receiving more formal invitations. The breakfast this year will showcase the career technical education programs and honor legislative friends. With the situation in Sacramento in crises, with no additional funding anticipated from the Capitol, and given the budget deficit, our message of the Legislative Task Force is being centered around the points of the vision of student success from the report of the Commission on the Future of Community College League of California, sharing that with our legislative representatives. To all those here and to those watching, I want to wish very joyful and happy holidays. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Trustee Lane.
Yes, thank you. I also wanted to express my appreciation to both Robina on your retirement, all the things that you've done for me personally, and obviously for all of us as members of the board. You will be sorely missed. Also to say to my friend Trustee John Williams at the other end, obviously was sad to hear about your decision as well. You certainly are epitomize, I think, the type of achievement that somebody from our system can reach. So you really set quite an example. You've been a tremendous member of this board, been involved in so much of the history, and wish you very, very well for your future. A couple of different events that I attended. I managed to make it over to Irvine Valley College, where I saw President Rockmore hand out community service awards to deserving members of the community. That was a very nice event. And a couple other events as well that I attended in the meantime. Excuse me for fumbling a little bit, but I left my notebook at my office. Grace was kind enough to make me another one, and all my notes are there. I do want to obviously wish all of our constituents a very healthy and happy holidays and a very new year, because it will be next year before we see you again after this meeting. So good night to everybody there.
All right. And Student Trustee?
I'd like to say farewell to Trustee Williams and Robina, and I just want to welcome Trustee Prendergast and wish everybody happy holidays.
All right, thank you very much. And we'll now move to the Chancellor's report.
I'd like to express my gratitude to the Board of Trustees for the confidence that they've showed in me and in appointing me to lead this district for the next 3.5 years. I'm grateful and I feel humble. And I'm delighted to be back That being said, I've been wondering whether I'm maybe the person responsible for Robina leaving. It's more than coincidence. The first time I talked to her after the appointment, she said, I want to congratulate you, but I need to let you know that now you're coming, that I'm going to be retiring immediately. So I guess I'm the one to blame. On a positive note, I'm sure the presidents will have something to say about this in their reports, but we've received word today from the Accrediting Commission that they have approved the substantive change proposals regarding ATEP, and so that's a major hurdle that we've gotten beyond. And lastly, I want to extend everyone happy holiday greetings and Happy New Year.
All right, thank you very much. And we'll now move to board requests for reports. Do we have any requests for reports? I have two, so I'll start with my two. I would like to submit or ask the board to support a study of the construction of a new football stadium at Saddleback College. And the reason for this request is that it is an extremely inadequate facility for the public, the staff, as well as the team use. The bathrooms are woefully inadequate, and it basically presents an unhealthy situation. The foundation has started a program to support the construction of a new stadium. There did a tour this past week, and as a part of the tour, they handed out a little wish list, Christmas wish list, that I'll pass out to everyone. You can take a look at that in support of their desire for a new stadium. It has a Christmas picture, and it says, all they want for Christmas is a football stadium. So it's not a lot. That's all. So, and coincidentally, after the foundation tour, they went to several stadiums around the county, and I think one or two out of the county. Is that not correct, President Burnett? Pasadena, yeah. So after, pardon me? LA Southwest. What were the names of the stadiums? I didn't go on the tour. What were they?
It was LA Southwest, Pasadena, and the third was Orange Coast.
Yes.
College.
And the day after the tour, there was an article that appeared in the Register basically lambasting us for the condition of our stadium. So I'm passing that out to the board members as well. So with that, I would like to have, we've gone down this road before, and we had several studies with sort of a glorified stadium, 25 million and 30 million and so forth and so on. And today, I'm sure that's not anywhere near the kind of figure we would be looking at. But I'm just asking for a report to come back for the board to consider. And it doesn't have to come back next month, but whenever it would be available. So with that, I'd like the board, someone to support that with a motion.
I approve that motion.
All right. All in favor?
I'd like to ask before we move on to a vote, who is it that we're asking for a study, and who's going to do the study? What are we talking about?
This would come from the staff. We've done this in the past, and we will build on the two studies that have come forward. We've had 2 or 3 different plan designs and architects that have presented this, so I'm sure we'll build on that. But I'd like President Burnett to speak to that.
We'd be more than happy. As you stated, the foundation has instigated an effort last year to raise funds and look into this. So we'll be able to report back to the board on what our proposed plans would like to be at different phases, what the foundation is doing, what the college is doing, and we'll just give you an update on everything that's happening.
Sure. Okay. So is
a line officer responsible for presenting or responding to this, the president of the college, or is this a district request? Is this a economic study or a fiscal study, or what is it? I don't understand.
This would be both from the district in terms of what would be adequate facilities, And then at the district level, we'd have to look at the economics and how it could be financed. So yes, it would involve both the district and the college level administration, the athletic program as well as President Burnett, and building on the former consultants we used. All right, are you ready to vote? All in favor? Oh, you have a, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Trustee Lang. I beg your pardon.
Yes, I certainly have no objections to a report coming back to the board, but my concern is that this has to, I think, be considered in the larger context of what are we doing with basic aid monies.
Of course.
And it's, I think, in that context that this discussion ought to take place, because it seems to me that there may be, I would love to have a new stadium as well, but it seems to me that there may be higher priority capital expenditure projects within this district, and I think that's what we need to, that's the context in which we need to consider this.
And I couldn't agree with you more. I think that would come out in the study. All right. All in favor? Or please vote, please. All right. Thank you very much. I have another request for a report, and that's for the construction of a science building at Saddleback College. This is on the back burner, and we are, I think it's somewhere in the basic aid pipeline. But one of the problems with this project, as you may or may not know, is that we would be eligible for some state monies to complete this. Our Saddleback Science Building is woefully inadequate again. This is a very old campus, so that's part of the problems with Saddleback. And we've had some Cal OSHA problems with that, with some of our labs. It's settling, the structure is moving, and if we wait for state monies, as the condition of the state exists, this science building will probably not be built for decades. So again, this is, Trustee Lang, another thing in terms of basic aid priorities that I would like this board to consider and look at. So with that, it's just an updating, but I think we need to consider that with the current budget situation of the state. So I'm asking for a report on the construction of the Saddleback Science Building. And this should not take much effort because we are in the middle of this anyway. So, do you have a motion for that? All right. Second? Second. All right. Moved and seconded. Any comments? All right. All in favor? All right. So that passes. Now we are at the consent calendar. Before we go to the consent calendar, we're going to advance some items because we have people waiting around. And our audit report is 6.1. We have auditors here who have been waiting a long time. We'd like them to come forward, or let's see, who will present that? Will you present that?
I think they're here.
All right, they're going to present it on their own. So 6.1 will be advanced. Let me just say before we go into the meat of 6.1, we're also going to advance 6.2, 6.9, 6.11, and 9.1. So we have a full calendar, but these items do need to come forward because we have some consultants in the audience. Go forth, the Audit Committee. This is Macias and Jeannie. Is your mic on? We need a little help with the mic over there. I think there's a button on the... No. On the side, you have to push the button. Okay. If you could just maybe get closer to the mic and see if that helps. No, it's still off. Okay. Tracy will see what she can do to fix it. Go ahead. Just speak loudly. Okay.
Again, good evening, and thank you for giving us the time to present to the board tonight. My name is Jim Watson. I'm an engagement partner from the Student Trustee Absent. With me tonight is Dan Thompson, who is the engagement manager. We have completed our examination of the financial statements of the district for the year ending June 30th, 2010.
Mine's on. Yeah, it's pushed.
statements.
Oh, I have to push it every time.
Our audit was done in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards and governmental auditing standards. We applied all tests that we felt were necessary in order to enable us to render an opinion. There were no restrictions of any kind placed upon us or the scope of our audit. Based upon their examination, in our opinion, the financial statements of the district fairly present the financial position and the results of operations for the fiscal period then ended. On November 17th, we made the presentation to the audit committee where we went through in significant detail both the financial statements and what we refer to as required communications, talking about the scope of the audit, that the audit was performed as planned, and again, there was no restrictions placed on us. We also discussed several internal control findings that we had. One was dealing with some improvements in the IT department. We had one finding on one of the federal programs as far as a timing of a report. That is our basic presentation this evening, and we would like to, if there's any questions that we can address from the trustees, we would like to do that at this time.
Okay, moved and seconded for approval. Are there any questions? I do have one question. I don't see anyone else with a question. But I think you made a note about the deficit of the IVC learning.
The community education
Community
fund.
education, yes. Could you just comment about that?
Yes. The accounting standards require that you disclose in the financial statements if you have a deficit balance. And so we pointed out in the financial statements themselves, I believe that's note 12, page 36 of the financial statements, points out that there is in fact a deficit in that fund. We also pointed out to the audit committee members that deficit has been there for a long period of time. This is not something new, but it is beginning to grow. And so that it's something that we wanted to point to the trustees, that it's something that they should be addressed as at some point in time. So that was the purpose of that note.
Okay, and they did make a presentation to the board not long ago, and I have talked to, I believe, our president of IVC is working on trying to correct that problem. There is an item tonight on that as well, later on in the agenda.
And just so the trustees know, as a normal part in our next audit cycle, we will come back on all of the items that we've identified that we presented to you all this year. We automatically will come back and look at the resolution of those and report back to you if there's any concerns.
Okay. Trustee Milchiker.
I just want to say that three of us have been on the audit committee for several years, Trustee Williams and myself and Trustee Wagner, and we meet with the audit committee, with the audit the people that we hire to do our audit several times this year, and they were very responsive to our questions. And as a committee member, I feel that this is a very good audit, and we're dealing with the suggestions they make. So I thank you and thank the board for appointing this firm, and we'll move forward. And they said that everything else looks very good and properly done. So I feel very good about it. Thank you.
All right, very good. We have a motion and a second to accept the. I think it's been moved and seconded. All right. So please vote on accepting the
Madam
audit report.
President.
Yes.
The motion originally made was to approve, and I think the recommendation is to accept.
Your recommendation to accept, and I did not hear that. But he's just modified his motion to accept. Let's vote, please. All right. Motion passes unanimously. All right, and we're going to thank you very much.
Thank you
very much. All right, we're going to also advance 6.2, which is the Hillpointe Promenade Apartments.
Move approval.
All right, and there is a recommendation for approving this, and this is an item that will have the Chancellor present. Okay. What's your item?
The original contract for the apartment complex that's over on Marguerite Parkway, had in it an obligation to the district that if there is a change in ownership of the complex, ownership of the ground lease, that the district will execute documents that it takes to help implement that change of ownership. The only provision it has for not approving it is if the owners are in default of the payment, which is not the case. So in this case, one partner is buying completely out the other partner. That's the only change. I think there might also be a change in the management company. As far as I know, those are the only changes. Okay.
And there are documents attached that go along with this.
Yes.
So the documents would need to also be approved and executed, as well as a resolution that we're passing around. And I have a question from Trustee Prendergast about why do we lease an apartment complex. So as a brand new trustee, he doesn't know the history here, so I'd like to have, let's see, President Burnett, maybe that's a good job for you to explain.
I'm sorry, can you clarify the question? Lease?
Would you like to speak to your question?
I'm just, as a new guy here, I'm curious why we lease an apartment complex.
The Chancellor volunteered to jump in if you don't want to take it.
Either one, we could probably take it.
Yeah.
Well, first, we don't lease the apartment complex. We have land up there that we lease to developers that have the apartment complex up there. And obviously, it's very much predates me and many people in this room, going back many years. But frankly, it's a wonderful, steady income base to our district. They've been a very good partner. I will say, gosh, I don't know what the proper percentage of is, but a percent of our students and employees that actually live there is fairly high. We have a very good partnership with them, and we're actually looking at doing things in the future that has a closer relationship, frankly, of using that property and the types of services provided for our students and employees, as well as community.
And specifically, the money is to Saddleback College, I believe.
No, actually, it goes to the district. I'd be more than happy to entertain that motion.
Okay. Well, it is Saddleback College land. That's why I was talking about the Saddleback College. Yes, Trustee Milchiker. Yeah.
Just wanted to say it was a 55-year lease that was done many years ago, and it was done to the Hillpointe apartment. Before that, it was the line company, changed ownerships. But with the money that we got through the long-term lease, we got money up front. We were able to go to the legislator and get funding of our 2 student service buildings for that. So it was actually a wonderful thing for our students, because ordinarily it's very difficult to get funding for student service buildings. Right. And student service buildings are very important for students at a commuter college, because if you do any study of students, the most at-risk student are the students that just comes to a class and leaves. But if they come to the student service building and they are able to eat lunch and they're able to play ping pong and they're able to attend student government and do the myriad things that the students do in the student service building, it really aids in retention. So it was a very good deal for us to get the 2 student service buildings, and something that I'm very proud of. So
okay, thank you very much. Trustee Williams.
Well, I'll be brief, but I would just say historically, community colleges in California do enter into land use agreements for land, vacant land. It generates a lot of revenue. We have of course, the Promenade Apartments. We just approved some months ago the use of land by the Lexus dealer at the Marguerite entrance over here. It generates revenue. Throughout California, this is fairly common practice. There are some other counties north of us that actually community colleges have oil wells on their land, and they not only lease the land, but they share in the profits. So it's fairly common throughout the state.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so there is, in addition to the attached exhibits, there's the resolution, which I've passed around, but we need to vote, and then the trustees need to sign that, as does the Secretary, the Chancellor. So I think we have the motion. Who made the motion, please?
I made the motion.
You made the motion. A second? Who seconded it? Trustee Prendergast seconded the motion. So any other questions? Let's vote. All right, the motion carries unanimously. If we could have the resolution read, and then, could you read the resolution for us? Or I'll read it. Okay. It says it's just a...
Not all resolutions need a...
Now therefore be it ordered, I think this is a resolution, the Board of Trustees of South Orange County Community College District, as provided in Section 19 of the lease, the South Orange County Community College District hereby consents to the request by LS Promenade Apartments, LLC, for assignment and assumption of LS Promenade Apartments, LLC, portion of the lease to MG Promenade Apartments, LLC, for purposes of Hillpointe Promenade Apartments project. The Chancellor or designee is authorized to execute all documents necessary to carry out the terms of the assignment and assumption. Adopted, signed, and approved by the Board of Trustees, South Orange County Community College District, Orange County, State of California, the 6th day of December. And we do have signatures. All right. We need a couple more trustees' signatures to make it complete, and the Chancellor's. All right. So did you have something to say? You're the primary owner. Would you like to come forward to the podium and introduce yourself?
Nancy?
Yes.
Do we do a roll call?
Yes, absolutely.
Now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Trustee Fuentes?
Aye.
Trustee Jay?
Aye.
Trustee Lang?
Aye.
Trustee Milchiker?
Aye.
Trustee Padberg?
Aye.
Trustee Prendergast?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Student Trustee Shea?
All right, thank you. And your name, please?
My name is Bill Hoff, and I've been a 90% owner of the Promenade Apartments. So this consent will basically make me the 100% owner in terms of responsibilities of the ground lease, et cetera. I believe that the Chancellor's signature has to be notarized. So I think with all the trustees signing tonight the resolution, then I guess the Chancellor probably tomorrow will need to sign and have it notarized.
Okay. I'm sure that they'll take care of that.
Yeah. I just wanted to make that clear because I know they were trying to be helpful tonight and to have it done so that I could take it with me, but I don't think that's going to be feasible.
All right, very good. And this is Robina's specialty. She'll take care of it.
And there's two documents. There's a consent and then there's an estoppel, which I think Gary also knows about.
We have those, and he'll take care of those.
Well, that's all
I don't think the others take the full board to sign.
Great. I'll coordinate with Robina then.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and thank all the members of the board as well.
Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
All right, very good. We will now, let's see, advance item number 6.9, and 6.9 is the resolution. I'm sorry, 6.9. Where are we? 6.9, Gary, what's that? That is the land exchange with the County of Orange, Memorandum of Understanding, and it's an approval. This has to do with ATEP, and I'd like Provost, thank you, and second, all right, second, Provost Peebles to please talk to us about that.
Thank you very much. Basically, this is the Memorandum of Understanding, which will then begin a more formal process for the attorneys of the district and also the County of Orange to move forward in the exchange of 10 acres of ATEP property for 10 acres of Orange County property that will, in fact, configure the property for both entities in a much more favorable manner, and that is the proposal. So it's just an equal exchange of 10 acres.
Okay. Any questions from trustees? Do we have a motion and a second? All right, all in favor of vote? Oh, Trustee Fuentes.
I want to say that I intend to vote yes on this exchange of 10 acres for 10 acres with the County of Orange. I have expressed from this microphone and in other settings my very serious concerns about the ATEP project in the long term. And I still have considerable reservations and concerns. However, I believe that this fair trade of 10 acres for 10 acres and a reconfiguration of property lines does not address those concerns. So it's on that basis that I will vote in this case on an ATEP matter in the affirmative.
All right, thank you. Please vote. All right, matter carries unanimously. And we will also advance 6.11, and this is a resolution to support SB 1440. And I believe we have someone here who is going to talk to us about that. Yes, Chancellor.
Yes, we have in the audience Mickey McCullochek from Saddleback College, who is very knowledgeable about all these matters, and she will help explain the benefits of the of this legislation.
And while Mickey is coming to the podium, did I hear a motion? Trustee Williams?
Second.
Second, Trustee Milchiker. Thank you. And that, for those of you who aren't familiar, this is a Senate bill that is a tremendous advantage for community colleges. I'll let Mickey Milchiker talk to us about it.
Thank you. Okay, see, it's been almost a year since I was here the last time. First off, I do want to thank you for looking at a resolution in support of SB 1440, the Padilla bill, which is the Student Transfer Achievement Reform Act, or STAR, and to expedite the process for the approval of the curriculum that will need to go forward to Sacramento. Just sort of a brief summary. This is a partnership between two systems, between the Cal State system and our California community colleges. And the goal is to assist our students in their transition plans to the CSU. I like to think of Padilla as CSU's TAG. And TAG is what we have with the University of California with community colleges, with all of them except for Berkeley and UCLA, which is a transfer admission guarantee. This is going to be one more pathway for our students. It's not the only pathway, but it's one more pathway for our students who want to go to the Cal States. At Saddleback, and I'm sure at IVC, our academic senate is taking the lead with our curriculum committees and our department chairs in vetting what's called transfer model curriculum. And what that is, we have agreed on what's called an associate's degree in transfer that consists of 60 transferable units, a 2.0 GPA, completion of the Cal State General Ed, or IGETC, which goes both to UCs and Cal States, a 2.0, and the area which is what's being vetted right now is 18 units in a major or an emphasis. With this is a guarantee for our students who complete this associate's degree in transfer, a guarantee at the Cal State system with priority looking at the local service area, which is Cal State Fullerton. When our students complete this degree, they will not be held for any similar courses that they would have taken at Saddleback or IVC. So they can't make them retake a course that was similar. And they need to hold what our students take once they get to the CSU for 60 additional units to total that 120 for that bachelor's degree. So it's a win-win for our students when they go through this process. Right now we have 6 transfer model curriculums being vetted throughout the state, and those are psychology, sociology, communication studies, geology, math, and for IVC, criminal justice. Come spring, we have 12 more coming, and those are going to be in, and I need to look at my notes, business administration, accounting, economics, political science, biology, chemistry, child development, kinesiology, PE, physics, theater, and liberal studies, which will help our folks who would become teachers. Each community college, every community college in California, will need to have 2 of these transfer model curriculums approved through the system office for fall 11. So that means we have the spring semester to find 2 of these that our faculty and department chairs, curriculum committees, academic senates can get to the board so you can expedite the approval to our system office. If our faculty goes with the TMCs, the system office will expedite our approval process. If we decide to do our own thing, which they're not recommending, because having our own thing is not a transfer model curriculum and puts our students at disadvantages statewide, then you will have to go at the end of the line while they're expediting all the TMCs. What that means is between now and when our catalogs come out, we need to have 2 of these. We need to talk about what we're going to put in our catalog and where we're going to put this at in our catalog. For our students, we're going to need to look at, I'm looking at the district IT, we're going to need to have something put on a transcript so the Cal States know that our students have completed this associate's degree in transfer in psychology or sociology or so forth. We're going to need to be able to do an awards management where we can, I'm sure that the state is going to want a report card from all the community colleges of how many of these degrees they've given out. So we'll need an award system on that. And then we're going to need to find a way of how to market this to our communities, that we now have this another pathway for our students who want to go to the Cal State and receive this associate's degree. So I, as a Transfer Center Coordinator and Counseling Faculty here at Saddleback, I'm always excited about another option that assists our students in trying to find that seamless pathway to that Cal State. The University of California have been pretty clear on their rules. Our Cal States have been, well, they're the troublesome ones. So if we can get a seamless way with the Cal State for our students, I think it will be very beneficial. And so on behalf of our CSU transfer students, I'm really looking forward to STAR Act and the creation of our associate degrees for transfer for our students who want to go to the Cal State system. And thank you so much for coming up with this resolution to expedite this process.
Well, let me just say that we didn't, in all honesty, come up with this resolution. It was put together by the California Community College League, and several community college boards are, in fact, passing a resolution to assist in the legislative process and passage of this. It will tremendously advantage our students in community colleges. So I just want to point that out to everyone. Now, I think there are some other trustees who want to speak. Trustee Lang.
Yes, thank you, Mickey, for that very enlightening information. A couple of questions that I have is costs associated with this. Is it mostly just a work effort on our part, or are, because we know we won't get anything from the state probably for implementation of this. So what are we looking at in terms of your effort, particularly in matriculation and transfer? And then secondly, I think Trustee Padberg addressed that, and that was where is other support for this bill coming from? And then I guess I want to ask the reverse. Is there opposition to this bill, and where is that coming from?
It's already been passed. The governor signed it.
I'm sorry.
He signed it October, September.
Right.
When he had to sign all the bills. The support has been statewide for this bill. There was some opposition dealing with the 18 units of it emphasis, but the bill's been passed. Everybody is on board. They want to make it happen because it helps our students. As far as cost, the only thing it's going to, I'm not a money person. You just tell me to do something and I go do it. I think there'll be some cost in programming, and I'm not a techie, so I've already talked to Jane and Joyce at Saddleback and AR in our Missions and Records Office about it has to be put on a transcript. That's what the CSU understands. So we'll need to have another notation on the transcript that says associate's degree for transfer in such and such. We put AA degrees on there, but we're going to have this where it's real clear that it's this degree, so the CSU knows that. And then I think we're going to need a way of counting it, because I'm sure there's a report card that will come out asking for some accountability of this. As far as each college, I'm sure we're going to have some way of marketing it so we can get the word out to our high schools that we have this option, some advisement sheets, but I don't think that's big money. I look at the 2 presidents. Did I answer your question?
You did. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Trustee Milchiker.
Thanks again, Mickey. I think that the high schools are already marketing it. When my kids graduated from Laguna Hills High School at the night where they found out about colleges, we already were telling them about the guaranteed transfer programs to the UC and CSU, and some of the parents would come up to me and say, "Is that really true?" Well, now we could say it's really true and it's in writing. So I'm delighted about this. The only concern, I have no concern about this resolution. I think it's wonderful, and the fact that we have this in place, but the fact that the CSUs are cutting back so much in their funding, I don't know if you can answer this, but the thing I think, we make a kind of a promise to our students when they come to the community college to transfer that there will be a place for them at the CSU and UCs, and I'm just worried that there will be a place for them in the future with all the cutbacks. So do you have any comments on this at all?
Well, this is going to give them that guarantee to the system. Right now, to the CSU, there is no guarantee. The UCs have it when our students do tags. They have guarantees, and I just pulled my reports of my tags to the various UCs. That's a guarantee. It's a contract. You do this, you do what you're supposed to do in the way that you're supposed to do it. There is a place for you. The students going to the CSU did not have that. Now, with this, our students who follow this package, and it's a very prescriptive package. The Psych 1, just to give you an example off the top of my head, a student, I'm using Saddleback numbers, would have to take Psych 1, Psych 2, Math 10, and then they're prescribed in their general ed where they can double count. They will have to take a biology class now. And for Saddleback, that would be Biology 20. And then they get to choose 2 elective classes in the social and behavioral science area to total that 18 units. So it's a very prescriptive program. But if a student comes into Saddleback or IVC and says, I want to go to the Cal State and I want to major in psych, we now pull this out and say, you follow this, you get these grades. There is a place for you in the system. I couldn't guarantee that to a student before.
Excellent.
Okay, very good. Trustee,
Thank you.
Trustee Milchiker, the Chancellor would like to comment.
Yes, there was a question where it got a little unclear about whether this legislation was passed or unpassed, and it has passed. Okay. And this resolution isn't about that. I'd point your attention to the last paragraph of the resolution where it says, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the South Orange County Community College District, by passage of this resolution, hereby expresses its intent to expedite approval of these degrees in order to have SB 1440 fully implemented in the South Orange County Community College District by fall 2011.
Okay. Trustee Fuentes.
Gary, your reading of that last paragraph, I think, helps somewhat in addressing my question. I have no problem with the concept of what you're presenting to us here. I'm just wondering if procedurally, though, if a resolution is the appropriate way to approach this. I mean, usually a resolution is from a body to somebody else. This is a kind of a resolution talking to ourselves that we are going to do this. Would a board policy be more appropriate to achieve this as opposed to by form of resolution? Again, in concept, I have no problem with it. I'm just trying to see if we can't do this more effectively.
I don't think we need an ongoing policy that would be in effect. I think all we need to do is have the board express their intent that we go along with what we're supposed to do here, and then once it's implemented, it's over, and we don't need an ongoing policy.
Okay.
Okay. And we have a motion and a second, I believe. Okay. Please vote. Thank you, Mickey.
Thank you.
All right. Motion passes unanimously. All right. And one last thing we're going to advance. I apologize for so many matters being advanced. 9.1.
Nancy,
I'm sorry.
do we need another roll call for 611?
You may as well go ahead. Yeah, it's a resolution, so probably it's a good idea. Go ahead.
Trustee Fuentes.
Aye.
Trustee Jay.
Aye.
Trustee Lang.
Aye.
Trustee Milchiker.
Aye.
Trustee Padberg.
Aye.
Trustee Pendergrass.
Aye.
Trustee Williams. Student Trustee Shea.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, 9.1 is a resolution establishing a procedure for appointment of a provisional board member. This item got added due to Trustee Williams' resignation, and we have a time limit under which we have to do this, and for that reason, we have put this on the agenda tonight. So I would like the Chancellor to address his recommendation that the Board approve Resolution 10.25, establishing a procedure for the appointment of a provisional board member.
Yes. The law requires that when a board member resigns from the position, that within 60 days, the board has to make a determination of how that vacancy will be filled, either by election or by provisional appointment. And the very most common way of doing this is a provisional appointment, which then places that appointee in the position until the next opportunity where there's a general election and that person can stand for election. It's by far the least expensive way. I remember one time we called for a special election to appoint a trustee, and it cost the district $800,000. The problem being is that the county cranks up all their mechanisms, and we're the only ones they're doing it for, so we get to pay the fee. So I think at this point there's no need to call for an election, and I think an appointment is appropriate, and I made that recommendation. That's what this resolution and the attachments would implement.
Okay. All right. Moved and seconded. Trustee Milchiker.
I just want to mention that I'm in favor of this because there is no general election coming up within 60 days. If there was no general election coming up within 60 days that we could fold into it so it wouldn't cost us anything, then I'd be in favor of moving to a general election. But since it's going to cost us $800,000 and there won't be another election for 2 years, I'm in favor of this motion.
Okay. Seeing no one else wishing to speak, let's vote.
No, I have my light on.
I didn't see your light. It didn't come up on my screen.
Perhaps
Pardon me.
Perhaps we can have the electricians look at your screen.
No, I have no problem with my screen. Other people's lights.
I just think a little history is important here. Bill J., you know this history.
I did, and the number was 453,000.
Right. And, well, I think the approach of appointment is appropriate. We have to remember that the unions came out the district the last go-round in order to put you in.
That's exactly right.
And so there was an appointment, and organized labor and government labor unions had another say in it to get you elected. So I think that it is appropriate, but I think we also have to take actions like this with our eyes wide open, that sometimes political forces have other ideas other than the board. For taxpayer efficiency and economy in this economic crises of the state of California, it would certainly seem that an appointment without the expenditure for an election would be appropriate. But I think when we do something like this, we have to be fully aware that it can at times trigger special interests expressing their view as well. And that's why you're here. Thank you very much.
And I have Trustee Milchiker's name on my screen now. Trustee Milchiker?
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to say is that Trustee Williams is retiring or leaving office, and we will be having a special election. So I just wanted to announce to people that if anyone lives in his trustee area, which is Mission Viejo, Rancho Santa Margarita, and the unincorporated areas around Mission Viejo, that there's an opportunity to apply and be selected by...
I think you misspoke. You said we'll be having a special election. This is for a special appointment.
No, I meant a special appointment.
Oh, but you misspoke.
Excuse me. Thanks for that correction. It's a special appointment by the Board of Trustee members in lieu of an election, because the election would be too expensive because it's too far away from a general election right now to have that. So if there are any people who are watching this broadcast who live in the Mission Viejo area, you might think about applying for this position. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Williams.
I would point out that the first day this board position is vacant is January 1, so you do have a few weeks until the 60 days starts.
Thank you for that. We are asking our attorney to clarify as to whether it's the actual notice or the effective date of your retirement. So that is a question we're not clear about yet, but thank you for pointing that out. Trustee Pendergast.
That actually cleared up one of my questions, because it does say from the filing of the deferred resignation, so that defines the date. But if that's still in question, then that's good.
Question.
And I do want to mention that if my brother's watching, no, you're not eligible.
Okay. All right. With that, no other trustees are asking to speak. Let's vote. All right. The item passes unanimously. Let me just say that one of the calendar issues that we didn't vote on, but was to have a special meeting date for the interview of applicants. And I'd like the trustees to take that calendar out for January again, because we have to be mindful of the time frame, and we've got the holidays to contend with. So I know you all were polled by Robina as to a special meeting on the week of the 10th, and it appears that the only date available is on the 13th. If you don't like unlucky numbers, maybe we don't want to pick that day, but is that a possibility that we could do a special meeting on the 13th? Yes, Trustee Jay.
Yeah,
Will you push your mic?
60 days to comply, is that right?
Push your mic, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was a push.
Yes.
It was, but it wasn't
All
working.
right, there you go.
Okay.
Now we hear you.
Yeah, if we have 60 days, is that the number? Do we
That's-
want to appoint in only 13 days?
What are you talking about?
Well, now you're talking about a special meeting for selection of
All right,
a
you're
board
assuming
candidate.
that the 60 days start to run as of December 30th, when he resigns, right?
Right.
And we're not clear about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we find out, wouldn't that be more appropriate at that time? Since we have moved our January meeting up to the 20th,
Yeah.
couldn't we make a decision on that date?
Well, assuming that you're correct, that it starts to run with his actual vacating of the position. So I'd like to be able to keep that date open of the 13th if we need it. But do you want
Fine,
to speak
but,
to that,
yeah.
Chancellor?
We're not even when does school open right after? We're talking back the 3rd. From the 3rd to the 13th, we actually have 10 working days. That
Well,
both colleges
let's
will-
just
yeah.
be sure what we're talking about, Trustee Jay. It came up pretty fast, so I know that Chancellor's been speaking to Warren Kinson.
Yeah, my understanding is that it's 60 days from the date of the notice, not the effective date.
Yeah. The code says.
And so if you start backing that up to when our next board meetings would be, then, you're into February pretty quick.
And just to clarify, the date of the notice was what, the 3rd or the 4th?
Second.
December 2nd. So, we're getting kind
It's
of,
the date of the notice then, and it's not
Yes.
the date of actual retirement, which was December 31st, John?
exactly.
Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know then.
Yeah.
I have no
Okay.
idea.
Do you want to say anything else, Chancellor? All right, Trustee Lang.
Yes, I have a feeling that we're going to get bogged down with the calendar on this one, so I think it would be more appropriate for, somebody to poll the members of the board and come up with a date that works for everybody.
Okay,
For the
very
special meeting. And I, by the way, agree with the notion that Bill has advanced, that if we could make that coincide with the next board meeting, that would be ideal.
Sure.
Obviously, if it doesn't work out that way, then so be it.
Okay, the Chancellor just spoke to me and said that Robina has already polled everyone. Did you want to comment about that?
Okay.
Now, Rabina has talked to all the board members, and there are very few days available. The 20th was one, we've already used that, and the 13th is the other.
Yeah. So I think, if we're going to do it, we really should probably do it. But Trustee Prendergast.
Yeah, just clarifying, this special meeting, is it to actually interview the candidates?
Exactly.
So
And make
it
an
would be
appointment.
next to impossible to interview the candidates and then report our finding at the very same meeting if they were on the same day, would they not?
Why do you say that? I don't know why that would be a problem. You would make the selection after all the interviews were done.
Okay, so I'm just saying that if you wanted to have time to think about the results of the interview, a week would be better to notify who got selected than, you come in for an interview, wait around for 3 hours, and we'll let you know if you got it. To me, seems...
Well, that is my recollection of how we've done it in the past, is we actually make the selection at the time of the interviews. But Trustee Williams, go ahead.
I've been through 3 of these now with a trustee vacating a board position. The interviews are open and public. We don't deliberate in closed session. And you make an appointment after interviewing the candidates. They're immediately on the board. They're sworn in. If you did this on the day or afternoon of a board meeting, that trustee would sit here that evening and take the oath of office.
That's true.
Chancellor Portner.
One advantage of having this meeting of the interviews on the 13th would be that if for some reason there's some issues that need to be clarified, we could also agendize it for the following week on the 20th and try to resolve the issues and then make the appointment on the 20th. As has just been stated, our past history is it usually is all taken care of in one night.
Well, in that case, I'll move that we meet then on the 13th, which was the first suggestion.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
All right. Trustee Milchiker.
The only thing is, I agree with that, and I will vote for the 13th. I just want to make sure that we really have enough time to advertise it and to make sure to get the information out, because it's already the end of December, and
Well, my
13th is
understanding
coming around really
Trustee
quickly.
Milchiker, is that we will advertise it tomorrow.
Is that true?
Correct?
Yeah.
After the action tonight? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a motion and a second, and I see no one else wishing to speak. Let's vote. Okay, we will do the meeting on the 13th.
That seems like...
All right.
Notice they don't
We
give
can
you-
now go back to the, yes.
Resolution 9.1.
Oh, a resolution. Thank you, Grace, for catching me on the resolutions. Call the roll, please.
Trustee Fuentes. Trustee Jay.
Aye.
Trustee Lang.
Aye.
Trustee Milchiker.
Aye.
Trustee Padberg.
Aye.
Trustee Prendergast.
Aye.
Trustee Williams.
Aye.
Student Trustee Shea.
All right. Thank you very much. With that, we will go back to the consent calendar, and that's items 5.1 through 5.17. Do I hear a motion to approve
So
the
moved.
consent?
Second.
Second. Are there any items wishing to be pulled from the consent calendar?
Yes, the student trustee has.
Student trustee, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, go
I'd like
ahead.
to pull 5.15 out of the consent calendar.
All right, 5.15, I believe, is to pay you, right?
Yeah.
You want to pull that so you can...
Apparently for a meeting she wasn't absent for.
I was
you
here.
weren't absent for that?
I was here for the meeting.
All right, well, we will definitely pull 5.15, and then we'll vote on the balance. All right, please vote.
Yeah.
All right. Passes unanimously. 5.15, would you like to tell us what happened here? Or you don't know what happened?
I don't know what happened here. I was just looking and I realized that they said I wasn't here, so
All right.
I was here. It was Donald Wagner's last meeting, right? This meeting, the special meeting.
I believe, yeah. Go ahead.
I think if you it's the special meeting that occurred prior to that meeting where we decided whether we were going to meet tonight or not. It was the one where I came down at 5 o'clock. or
Robina
5
is speaking to us. Is
It
that
was a special
true?
meeting, and I don't believe
Oh,
you were here
okay.
for the special
Oh.
meeting.
All right.
But you were here for the regular meeting, so I'm not sure why you would need to get paid
Right.
extra for the special meeting.
No, trustee, all right, let's let Rabina talk to us about that.
Yes, you weren't here for the special meeting, and because of that, we had to do an excuse for you, which was that you had an academic commitment.
Okay.
All right, all those, please vote.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that we've talked this one out. All right,
Good.
approved unanimously. All right, we are now, well, we have done 6.1, we've done 6.2, We are now at 6.3, contracts with Neudesic for software development. And who is going to present this? All right, is this going to be presented by Vice Chancellor Bernucci, or who's presenting this?
These contracts will serve three purposes. First, they are to add new features to the student information system. They are to add new features to the informed data warehouse system, and they are to set up an emergency response team to be activated only in the amount of an emergency for mission-critical district systems.
All right, so the item has been moved and seconded. I see no one. Oh, Trustee Lang, beg your pardon.
I noticed on the in the audit findings that there were several items that were IT issues or related issues. Does this address any of those matters that were raised in the audit report in terms of it looked like a lot of that was internal control type issues? Do you want to talk
Most
about
of those were
that?
policy issues which are in process. This will, however, address one of the issues, which was a business continuity disaster recovery item.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Seeing no other trustees
My
wishing
light
to...
is on.
I'm sorry, well, yours is not.
isn't coming
It
up.
isn't coming up for some reason. We'll have to have the crew look at that. There it is. It's on now. Okay, go ahead. Turn it on. It's on now, so I'm not sure if you pushed it when he had, or, well, we'll get it looked at. Go ahead, Trustee Fuentes.
Bob, tell us about the process a little bit, how these recommendations come. I guess, if I can be pointed, is there any participation by those who are expanding, who would be expanding their services in the process of making recommendation that those services be expanded?
Yes, Trustee Fuentes. We involve the colleges in the process of deciding and prioritizing which of the items are going to be. For example, Ms. McCullough-Jack's earlier allusion to the fact that if we are to comply with 1440, we are going to have to do some programming. If this is brought forth and prioritized by the college body, the SIS funds in this contract would be allocated towards that item.
No, that wasn't my question. I understand it's coming with energy from the college, but I'm talking about the outside folks who provide the services and who will end up providing the services by contract to provide this. Do they have a hand in the process of developing this need?
I'm not sure I understand what your question is.
All
on
right,
that.
you've got certain vendors providing services in this IT arena, and we're now coming to enlarge those services and programs. Is there a role by those already rendering service to enlarge their services by this action?
No, I don't believe so, because these are, once we develop the original system, it has a certain level of scope, and you'll make these features for this price. After that's over with, it's desired by various constituencies, normally the colleges, that they want ABC features that were not included in the scope of the original contract.
Do you then go to an open bid process where several competing vendors can offer those services?
No, we don't, because that would be extraordinarily inefficient, because this is the vendor that helped us build the system from the ground up. No one knows that system like these vendors. If you were to go out to a vendor that had no experience with these systems, given that they have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lines of code, you would spend much more money.
But it seems to me that, and I'm just looking for clarification here, it seems to me that you put ourselves at risk of having folks who are already under the tent recommending additional services to what is being done without an opportunity for broad-based open bidding on these new services.
In this case, it's not the vendor who's recommending the new services. Those arise out of the college governance process and the district governance processes. Those are not administered by the contractor.
But what is the input to the college staff who's making the request? Where's that coming from?
It comes through a number of venues. For example, the District Technology Committee, which handles network and phone items. It comes through the District Online Education Committee, which involves items that impact our online or technology-mediated classes. It comes through various other governing committees. For example, this item also includes the Informed Data Warehouse, and that has a number of committees such as the CADRAP Committee and the District Institutional Research Team that is comprised of both district and college researchers.
But are we building in a situation where only those who are aboard already will have the opportunity to do more work for the district and for the colleges without...
No, we don't single source vendors. This contract is not going to the only vendor we have. We have roughly a half dozen different vendors. We turn to whichever one has the appropriate expertise for the given project.
That seems contrary to what you earlier said, but if that's the case, that would be appropriate, I think.
Yeah, Neudesic does. They've done a lot of work for us, and so they get a lot of business, but we also have other contractors we deal with as well. And many of those contracts have, on a month-to-month basis, come before the board.
Trustee Lang.
I think the only thing that I wanted to add, and maybe this is the point that Trustee Fuentes was trying to make, we certainly have had what I would call a special relationship with Neudesic. They have assisted us in sort of developing this, what I would term very proprietary system. And in fact, I think you've made presentations to this board before where, you've indicated that other community college, we're basically cutting edge with respect to a lot of what's been developed here. And our hope was, I thought, that essentially this thing could be a profit center for us. And I'm just, I guess, wondering where that stands in terms of our being able to provide what we've developed to other community colleges that have expressed an interest in that.
Yes, this board approved us working in partnership with outside companies in order to productize some of the products that we've made. The one that is the most discrete product is called My Academic Plan. You might recall that, an academic planning tool. We have a list of roughly a dozen other community colleges interested in that and are in negotiations and discussions with them to productize the MAP product first, and then hopefully to move on to other products such as the Sherpa project we now have in development.
Okay. Seeing no other trustees wishing to speak, let's vote on the item. Okay. Trustee Williams is absent, and that's one. The rest are all yes votes. All right. Moving on to 6.4. Board Policy 1400 Code of Ethics. Several board policies here are being presented for approval. I'll let the Chancellor talk about this. Go ahead.
Move approval.
Thank you. Second?
Second?
Second. All right. Moved and seconded.
These weren't policies that I worked on, so I'm going to have to pass this to Vice Chancellor Bouguet.
All right. Vice Chancellor Bouguet.
This is coming back to the board from a previous session. And
All right.
So in essence, if the board wants to proceed with them, unless there's a special explanation you want for specific ones.
Okay. Are there any questions from any board members about any of these policies? We've seen them before. No? Okay. Let's vote. All right. One abstention, Trustee Pendergast. Next item is 6.5, and this...
Second.
All right. These are items, board policies for review and study. Chancellor Portner.
Yes, I just wanted to make a point to Vice Chancellor Bouguet on these matters that I have heard from Saddleback College that they would like to give more input into Board Policy 4306, the calendar. So for the next time this comes back, I'm assuming again for review and study, or is it ready for approval next time?
At this point, if you're, I'll take this back to the committee, and we'll look at it and listen to the concerns, and when it's ready to come back for vetting to the board again, we'll bring it back again.
Okay.
Possibly the next meeting or afterwards.
Okay. Trustee Fuentes.
I thought that on this list we would see the proposed policy on the publication of salaries and benefits. Can you tell us where that is, or am I missing it here under a different title?
It's not here yet. It was underneath advisement by a committee. I reviewed it with the two collective bargaining associations on the committee, and I frankly, at this point, I think we have their support for it. So I would hope shortly that this would be appearing to the Board of Trustees shortly.
Perhaps maybe at the next meeting?
That would be my plan. But
Thank you.
sometimes plans don't always go 100% according to hope.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Seeing no one else wish to speak, let's vote on the item. Okay, except for review and study. Passes unanimously. All right, 6.6. This is the for approval, academic personnel actions, and I believe there are a couple to be pulled. Is that correct, Chancellor?
In item 6.6, I'd like to recommend that the board pull A1A.
A1A, all right.
I'd ask the Vice Chancellor if there's any others that he would want to pull.
No, sir.
Pardon?
Not on this item.
I thought 6.7E1, or no, am I wrong on that?
That's a 6.7.
Oh, I'm sorry, just 6.6. All right. All right, Trustee Lang.
Yes, I normally, or I generally support administration recommendations on pulling items, but in this case, I'm going to make an exception. We've seen this item before. My feeling is that this item is merely being pulled for political reasons. I don't think there's a good reason for this item to be pulled. It's gone through the process. We have an individual out there that has been stalled for, frankly, too long from the time that we originally extended, I guess, an offer to her. And I think we should not pull this item, and I think we should move ahead with it tonight.
All right, let me just explain to the board that Trustee Wagner did ask that this be pulled again. As you know, this has been an item of particular interest of his because of the $180,000 deficit we're running for the learning I'm sorry, I'm saying that, community ed. So he was still an active trustee at the time, and based on that, and looking, we have an item on the agenda tonight for community ed again, and we talked about it as an audit note. So that was the primary reason in respect for him that we did it. But I'm open to whatever the board would like to do, and Trustee Fuentes, let me let Trustee Fuentes speak, and we'll get to you. Did you want to speak?
Yes. I would just like to know what's going on. I think Trustee Lang well expressed his concern. When this position was initially brought forward, I objected to it, opposed the creation of the position. For good reasons, and that was not accepted by a majority of the board. Now, it seems to be dangling for political reasons, and I'd like to hear from those who want to address it, and I'd like to hear from the Chancellor, and I'd like to hear from the college president what's going on.
All right, could I ask the people who would prefer it not be pulled to make a motion, and we'll vote on whether we pull it or not and see what we're going to do? Do you want to make a motion?
Well, sure, I'll make a
All right. All right, very good. And I assume you're going to second that, Trustee Fuentes? You're going to second it, Trustee Prendergast. All right. So let's vote on whether we will pull or not. And a yes vote means that we will not pull it. All right. All right.
No means that we will
Pull it. Yes. I mean, no.
No.
All right, 1, 2, 3. There's 4 people who would not like it pulled, so we will go forward with the item tonight.
We're going to vote on the item. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to vote on the item, but we will take it as a part of the entire package. All right. Did you want to speak? I'm sorry. You're right. No needed. All right, very good. All right, so Vice Chancellor Brigade, would you like to speak to the rest of the?
No, on this item, there's no other changes.
No changes.
So with
All
that,
right.
there'd be no changes on the item at all.
All right, and Trustee Lang or Fuentes, have you any desire to speak about item A1A?
I would still like to hear input from the president of the college and from the chancellor.
Okay, very good.
The recommendation that I made to pull the item was in deference to a request from Trustee Wagner. I personally have no objection to the position.
And in my case, the recommendation was related to the bigger picture and making sure that the board is comfortable with the community ed situation. And with that, I think we can hopefully take the time to reach that comfort level and then make a selection.
Okay, Trustee Milchiker.
I'd like to know what the recommendation of the academic senate is, because they're the academic, they decide on many academic positions and make a recommendation to the administration. Thank you.
I'd be happy to speak to that. I know it's not very often that the faculty is in support of another administrator coming on board. It's not typical, but on behalf of the Academic Senate, I would hope and encourage this board to expedite the approval of this particular dean's position. We have a number of deans already on board at our campus, and they are discipline-based deans. They are responsible each for 2 or more schools currently, and those are schools that are discipline-based. But as we grow with programs like early college, it becomes very important to the faculty to have the opportunity to have the leadership that is program-based. So to just anecdotally give you an example, I as an art historian, if I am in my regular courses inside the discipline and I need resolution on a difficult problem or a complex question, I go to my discipline dean. But if I am in fact teaching art history, for example, in the early college program, to go back to my discipline dean to get resolution on a problem is not effective or efficient. I need a program-based dean that can help me resolve those program central problems. And so it's a very different type of a position. And the faculty is in support of this position and would certainly hope that you would expedite the approval of that tonight.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Prendergast.
Yes, I have 2 questions on this. One is to do with just basically on the reading and understanding very little of the history of it and kind of feeling like Mr. Fuentes in the dark, and he's been here longer than I have. So, but I do have a concern that if you've got somebody who basically was told that they were getting this position and they're hanging out there waiting for it to be approved and then it doesn't, are there any legal ramifications from that person coming back and saying something, hey, wait a minute, you told me I had a job and now I don't, or is it an understanding of that individual that they they know that if it may not get approved, so that's an
We'll let
expectation.
Vice Chancellor Bouguet answer that. He's our human resources person.
In this case, if it's a classified position, even classified manager, we often ratify those positions. In this case, the job has been told, the person has been told not to put in a notice at their other position already, just to make certain that this person wouldn't be hanging in that situation. So in this particular case, this person is waiting for the approval of the board before proceeding.
Okay, thank you. And my other question, now that I have a really good understanding of what this position would be, and being a person who is not only a strong proponent of the early college program, because it's at my high school, but also involved in the early college program, is there a need for me to abstain from this? No. Okay.
I don't see that there would be. No. All right, seeing no one else wishing to speak, let me just inquire of the board if you would like to have this matter separated out and vote on this one position separately, or would you like just to vote on the entire item as a whole?
The motion that was made and approved was to vote for the entire motion with this included.
Okay, I'm just clarifying that, and let's go ahead then and vote. All right, the matter carries with 1 no from Trustee Jay. We are now at 6.7, and that's classified personnel actions, and Vice Chancellor Bouguet.
There are two changes we'd like to make.
2 changes.
The very first one, we'd like to pull item E1.
You're going to pull item 3.1.
E1.
E1.
Yes.
Is that it?
And the second one is we have a typographical error on item G1, or excuse me, G2. We need to change the dates from 2010 to 2011. It's on page 7 of 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a second? All right. Seeing no one wishing to speak, let's vote on the item with those corrections. All right. The item carries with 1 no vote from Trustee Milchiker.
Oh, no,
And-
excuse
I'm
me.
sorry. Did you want to vote yes?
Yeah, I wanted to vote yes.
All right. Let's vote again, please.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right. The item passes with majority vote, sorry, everyone voting yes, including an advisory vote from the student trustee. All right, now we are at item 6.10, and that is a recommended item for approval.
6.1.
Did I miss one? Sorry. 6.8, sorry, 6.8. Approval of 6.8. Is
A second?
all right, and the Chancellor recommends the board reject the claim of Kathleen Schrader dated November 24th, 2010, and refer it to the district's insurance. All right, it's been moved and seconded. Everyone, please vote. Okay, and the matter passes unanimously. And we've done 6.9, so now we are at 6.10, and this is an item submitted by President Burnett.
On 6.10?
Yes.
Oh, it's just we unfortunately accidentally left off one of our faculty replacement positions, which is the Matriculation Coordinator, at last meeting. So this is just updating that list.
Okay, so it's an action item? All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, let's vote on the item. All right, it passes unanimously, and we are at 7.1. And these are information items. First one is an information item about outside speakers at Saddleback College. Any questions or comments about that? Trustee Fuentes.
I turn to the list which we received, and once again, I note that several of these have come to pass before we have the chance to look at them, and I just wonder if there's any way we can get a handle on that. I know that that this has been a problem. It's been explained in the past, but it just seems to keep happening. Here we are on the first week of December, and the majority of of these have already transpired. Can we?
Chancellor Portner will address your question.
Yes, we've talked about this a number of times, as you've said. The general topic of speakers has been debated here for years. There was litigation that the district lost about the matter of free speech, and we developed new policies. This item on speakers, I'd just point out, is not for board approval. There's no action here for approval. This is information to board members about what will be taking place on the college campuses, and if you're interested, you might want to attend. Some board members have stated that they would. The problem being is that board meetings occur on a monthly basis, and speakers become available sometimes in short notice. So it's the colleges end up asking speakers to come, and then it's reported to you after the fact. Unfortunately, when that happens, then you don't have an opportunity to attend, and that's understandable. Anyway, that's the
Okay, this is not an action item. I see no one else wishing to speak, so we'll move on to 7.2, which is Basic Aid Report. Any comments or questions about the Basic Aid Report? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to 7.3. That's the Facilities Plan Status Report. Okay, no comments. 7.4, Monthly Financial Status Report. Anything? No? Okay. 7.5. This is the Community Education Program at Irvine Valley College. And President Rockmore, would you like to speak to this? Yes, all right.
Yeah,
It does say acceptance. It's an action item. I'm not sure why it's stuck back here, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, members of the board and Chancellor Portner. The board requested at the last board meeting that Irvine Valley College update the situation on the community education, or what we know as the extended education programs. And I can assure you that Dr. Rockmore and I take this situation to be very, very serious, and we have taken some steps that are addressing it. I have a short PowerPoint that show you some of those steps. We are also planning some additional steps so that when you see the audit report next year, it will look very, very different. That deficit will be significantly reduced. So if you'd like, I have about 9 slides I'd like to just show you that shows you our progress on this situation. And let me just pull up the mouse is not working. Yeah, there we go. It's working now. Okay. The departmental overview, the program consists of community education, which is the focus point of the note in the audit report. However, the fund is Fund 07, which also includes contract education and our testing center. Related to the extended education programs are the Emeritus program, or the Emeritus Institute, which consists of a variety of lifelong learning courses. And these are for non-credit apportionment. The audit report does indeed indicate a deficit, or more correctly, an accumulated over the years deficit that has now reached $188,319. The fund has been in deficit for many, many years, as the auditors pointed out tonight, and the time is long past due to address that. The audit report, however, is a mid-year snapshot of the program, and we do have significant realized revenues that have come in since July 1st, in addition to other structural changes in the program. What you'll be seeing in a second is a trend significantly upward in revenues, and we are going to launch some significant expenditure decreases, most particularly the cost of publishing a printed schedule of classes and the postage costs related to them. That's over $60,000 a year. pardon me, I think I'm getting Glenn's cold. If you look at the unrealized revenues, that deficit would have been significantly lower, possibly 72,000 lower as of October 31st. Now, the reforms and the changes in the business practices are manyfold. They're now just showing up in some of the financial figures. The third quarter, for example, of this year, if you compare it to the third quarter in prior years, we see a net profit of $72,507, whereas the same quarter in the year prior was actually a loss of $49,567, and so it is as you go back in time. The reforms that IVC launched are part of a 5-year deficit reduction plan for community education that we adopted in 2008. We're now 2.5 years into that reform plan, and the other reforms are being launched this year now that we're in the transition. So we want to reduce the deficit, indeed ultimately eliminate it. We're focusing now on more effective marketing strategies and in particular expense reductions. The reduction in printing and postage costs is what I stated a second ago. This will be replaced by a much more effective use of online marketing strategies that have proven to be very effective with other programs. In addition to that, the State Chancellor's Office in fall of 2009 asked each and every community college to eliminate its non-credit offerings or greatly reduce them. This, of course, led to thousands of sections up and down the state being eliminated and much upset being caused in our elderly population, our older population, who primarily sign up for our lifelong learning courses. Our response at Irvine Valley College was to create a linked emeritus and community ed paired course concept. We call those hybrid classes, and this means that the revenues in community education have begun to trend upward significantly in the latter half of this year as these revenues have been coming in. The revenue trend is distinctly up. As you can see, the month-to-month revenues fluctuate. However, the trend line is up. That's quite different from a year ago where the trend line was flat or slightly declining. In addition to the upward trend in revenues, the downward trend that we will see in expenditures can only mean one thing: the deficit will fall. And we hope to, not hope, we will be reducing it very significantly. This is a result, again, of these hybrid classes, an invigorated marketing strategy, and a reduction in expenses. At no public, shall we say, upset, because the community will still be able to get each and every section that they were hoping to get, this time, though, for a very modest fee, not unlike our credit students who pay tuition. We have estimated some future profits in the fund. We did get hit with a $47,000 one-time capital cost last year. Part of this fund is recognizing the efforts of the testing center. That center moved from our B300 building to our A300 building and required for ADA purposes, for disabled students purposes, as well as modern computer equipment, $47,000 in new computer furniture. That was a one-time cost at no taxpayer expense. This came out of the testing center accumulated profits, which normally would have been applied against that community education deficit, but instead we purchased some furniture. That will not repeat itself this year as the furniture is already purchased. We anticipate the hybrid classes and the reduction in expenses to continue to add to net profits, reducing the deficit in the coming 2 years down from $133,000 is our estimate to $68,000. And in 2012-13, we should be in a break-even or profit, no deficit mode at that time. So we feel that we're managing this situation very well. It requires a multi-year approach, and I look forward to any additional input from the governing board or other constituents as we grapple with this very, very long-term problem. I'd like to take now any questions that you might have, and thank you.
Okay, Trustee Lang.
Yes, thanks, Craig, for that report and addressing the problem in terms of how you plan on managing the existing deficit. One question that I have is do the classes that we offer through community education, including hybrid, do we enforce any sort of minimum class sizes? Because it seems to me that the numbers are what's going to drive this thing in order to cover the overhead costs that you burden this program with, so that you have, if you have enough, folks that are taking these kinds of courses, that's obviously going to erase that deficit a lot faster. And I'm just wondering, are we still holding classes in which there's only maybe a handful of people attending, and is that part of the problem here?
We don't believe that is part of the problem. We do cancel classes. In fact, a significant number of community education classes are canceled each semester. And this is part of that market definition process that we use. With regard to the hybrids, each emeritus class that we offer does have a minimum course enrollment that we establish for it. And those classes are very, very successful. And typically, on average, there are more than 35 or 40 students in each and every class.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I don't. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, President Rockmore.
I was going to intro a little bit just to remind the board that the community education issue, I watched the prior president work with the deficit, and I was aware of the president before that working with that same deficit. So it has been quite a number of years that this has been an issue. When I became president, I decided to try to take the issue on. And what I did is went to the city of Irvine, and I have met with the mayor, I've met with the city manager and also the program director there. And I was not met with any success. The city of Irvine is interested in using their taxpayer dollars to be, in part, an academic institution. They have hired full-time faculty to teach in this program. And I was not able, with any success, to have them understand that we're likely better suited, and that a typical relationship is that they would do recreation-type courses for the families in Irvine, and we would take care of the rest of it. So when I found that that was not going to work, we started on this 5-year plan and trying to adjust our program as a result. So what you saw on the last chart was the last 3 years of that 5-year plan. And so we're not starting at 5 today, but we're actually in the beginning of year 3 now, and we should have this problem resolved by 2013, as the Vice President indicated.
I wonder if we could get a copy of your PowerPoint presentation.
Yes.
And I was a little confused. It looked like the deficit has now been reduced to $75,000, but maybe I didn't understand that correctly. Is that
That's
not right?
in a future year.
How many years in the future?
Let's go back to that slide so that we're. Was this the slide?
I think it was before this. It was toward the beginning. Yeah, beginning.
Oh, this is a quarterly figure, which, by the way, the auditors are going to look at an annual figure.
Right.
But this is a quarterly figure that's very different this third quarter,
I see. The quarter
compared to prior years. It's a complete turnaround.
Okay.
But it happened after the audit report. So.
Okay. But it does show some good news.
It does indeed.
Right. Trustee Jay.
Yeah, I just think that's great, that over a multi-year approach, you got it down to the point, at least it looks as if in 2012 and 13 you're going to have a $7,000 profit. So, kudos.
Thank you. We think our numbers are very conservative, by the way, but the auditors will tell you the news. They're the objective parties who will verify.
All right, thank you. I see no one else wanting to speak. I need a motion to continue the meeting past, we're not, are we? Yes, we are. Okay, we are approving this. All right, let's vote, please. Okay, it passes unanimously. Could we have a motion to extend the meeting beyond 9 o'clock to its conclusion? We're almost there.
I move to extend the meeting beyond 9 o'clock to the conclusion of the meeting.
Second. All right, all in favor? Vote.
I mean, we got to vote on that.
Thank you. All right, we are now at item 8, and these are the reports from our governance groups. So let's start at this end with Carmen Dominguez.
I have my notes. First off, well, goodbye, Trustee Williams. It's been fun. It's been fun, and I hope someday that you will still see your wife. She's so delightful, and she came to some of my performances, and she was always a pleasure to talk to.
Could you speak a little more into the mic? We're having trouble.
Please send her my best. And also to Rabina, well, it's been a hoot. I guess I have nobody to give my bottles of scotch to up there, so.
Pendergast looks like
there you go.
he's willing.
Well, there you have that. And I also, even though she's gone home to decorate her Christmas tree, I did want to thank my colleague, Mickey McCullochek. She is so passionate about transfer that it's easy to see why the accreditation visiting team gave Saddleback College a commendation for the work that we do for transferring our students. The Academic Senate continues their work. We've signed off on all of the academic job announcements, and with your approval, we can now move forward and start looking for new faculty, working with our college president and facilitating our strategic plan, and we have some wonderful faculty flex in-service activities for the first week of January, and we hope that some of you can stop by. And other than that, have a safe holiday. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And Faculty Association, Louis Long.
Briefly, my only comment is to thank Trustee Williams for his many years of service to the district and to the community. It's always been a pleasure to work with him. We know that he's one of the many trustees who put the community and the students first, and we will certainly miss you. Thank you.
Great. And President of the Academic Senate at IVC?
First, I would like to say farewell to Trustee Williams. Thank you for your service and for your support of the faculty. Robina, I want to see postcards from the most exotic places with that bottle of scotch, I guess. I'd like to say welcome to Trustee Prendergast and would like to invite you to come introduce yourself to the IVC Academic Senate in the January meeting. We would love to have you there, and I will send you the specifics on that meeting. Welcome, Gary, the Chancellor, now Chancellor Portner. The seat suits you, so we're very happy to see you there. The Academic Senate at IVC is currently moving forward with 4 confirmed position announcements in math, history, computer science, and counseling that will be dedicated primarily to athletics. We have our first January IVC to IVC lecture will be the 24th of January, and it will be Professor Rupa Mather out of CIM, or Computer Information Management, and it is titled iPhone, iPod Touch, iPad Favorite Applications for Educators. So we encourage you and welcome you on that Monday night, the 24th of January, 2011, right around the corner. And then finally, just happy holidays, blessed Christmas, Merry Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, and Happy Hanukkah to all of you. So see you next year.
All right, thank you, Provost Peoples.
Thank you. And also I'd like to thank and give farewell to Trustee Williams for your great work here at the district. Also to Rabina, a very nice lady besides a wonderful manager. And also welcome, of course, new trustee Prendergast. So welcome aboard. Just some quick items. The IVC and Saddleback faculty continue to work toward identification of program areas that will, in fact, expand to the ATEP campus sometime in the future. That, of course, is nicely driving forward the design and the work toward the future potential construction of our next building at ATEP. The demolition, of course, is going very well at ATEP. If you drive by the Tustin site, you can actually see walls disappearing off of those buildings, and I understand within a week or so, at least one of the old barrack buildings will actually be down to the ground. So that's pretty exciting to see physical progress on the campus as that moves forward. And also a special congratulations the managers and administrators as the peers of managers, administrators on campus and the district voted and selected Terry Flugman, our Director of Marketing, as the Manager of the Year this last Friday and was awarded. So I congratulate Terry on that.
Wow.
A wonderful recognition, and that's certainly appreciated. And with that, a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. President Rockmore.
All right. My report probably sounds familiar, but congratulations to Trustees Padberg and Milchiker on your reelection. And also welcome Trustee Prendergast, and look forward to working with you in the future here. John, I said a little bit at the podium, but have really enjoyed the years working with you. I think we accomplished quite a bit. And, echoing what Louis said, you've been very student-centered in your decisions. Rabina, I just don't know what to say. Walking into the Chancellor's office as often as I do, you have stabilized me as I made that journey going in and out. So I'm not sure what it's going to be like with somebody else there, but have definitely enjoyed working with you over the years as well. Appreciate that very much. Good luck to you. Our new Chancellor, it's great having Gary aboard here. He asked us to talk about substantive change, and that was a particularly difficult project to work on in terms of getting ATEP situated in terms of the campuses. And the news that was accepted by the ACCJC was very welcome and indicated a great deal of work that went into that. And then finally, I wish everyone a safe and peaceful holiday.
Thank you. President Burnett.
Thank you, Madam President. First, I want to thank the board very much for your supportive resolution for SB 1440. This is what we're here all about, and we're very thrilled about that partnership with CSU, and that will help us to increase our numbers of success rates for our students. Trustee Williams, we're going to miss you, as I said earlier, very much. Rabina, we're going to miss you very much. Welcome, Trustee Prendergast, and welcome, Chancellor Portner. Congrats, Madam President, as I said earlier, Mr. Vice President, and Madam Clerk. Once again, we are saddened at the college to hear about the passing of the second president of Saddleback College, Dr. Fred Bremer, and thank you very much for closing the meeting in his memory, and also the tragic and early death of one of our wonderful employees, Francisco Cinto. Finals week, if you can believe it's already here. Winter break is starting, and already we're talking about in-service. And since we won't see you again until the board meeting after in-service, we're very excited. This is will be the first time, I think, in many years, and I don't remember the last time they did it. We are actually going to have, working with the Academic Senate, we are going to have a dinner on Thursday night for all adjunct faculty to come back and have a meeting, and something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. They represent almost 2/3 of our faculty, and we should be spending a lot more time and attention with them and getting them more connected with our college. So I'm very excited about that. Thank you, Academic Senate, for supporting that. Finally, our annual campus holiday party is this Thursday. You all received an invitation, but everyone is welcome to attend that at 4 o'clock at SSC 212. And with that said, happy holidays, and we'll see you all in the new year.
Thank you. Vice Chancellor Bermucci, do you have a report? Okay. Vice Chancellor Begay.
No, I don't, except for the fact that Congratulations. I've never had a chance to have a report before in an open session. So I got the mic, so I'll grab it as fast as I can. Trustee Williams, you've been a very good board member. I bragged about you personally to many people and also to you yourself. I appreciate your service to the district. 18 years is a long time to sit down there, come to the meetings, listen to things, and help solve problems. That's a sign of a great board member. I certainly appreciate that. Re-election, congratulations to President Padberg and Clerk Marcia Milchiker, and also congratulations to our new trustee, our Vice President Pendergrass. So thank you very much. And of course, Gary Portner as our Chancellor. Wow, good choice. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'm at a loss, Grace, because the gentleman next to you doesn't have a plate. You're with her? Okay.
Well, let me present, this is our president-elect for Classified Senate, so we are trying to do combo meetings just to try to train him and put him aboard by July of this new year coming up. Okay. Dennis Gordon.
I'm sorry, Dennis?
Dennis Gordon.
Gordon, all right. And Angela Mahidi, you want to give your report now?
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, first of all, and like everybody have said, congratulations to all the newly renewed trustees, the brand new trustees. Welcome aboard again, Chancellor Portner, and thank you for all your years of service. It has been great for me to be here this year, so I'm learning, who's who and how long they have been here, like Marcia, Trustee Milchiker, plenty of years. My report is very exciting. We have ended the year very active. The fundraising committee had a great bake sale this past month, raising up to $645 in just cookies and goodies. The Green Committee also had some fundraising activities which raised some money, over $500. This money is going to be moved to Pro-IVC, which Dennis Gordon's work in the foundation office. So we are happy to have him help us out to put this money to work towards Pro-IVC. And all this money goes towards scholarships in May for all our students. One of our staff members at school also initiated a brand new Veterans Scholarship in the amount of $250. And this money, again, goes towards Pro-IVC, and hopefully we'll get more donations towards it. So it will probably end up to 2 to 3 Veterans Scholarships. We are having also, the Classified Senate is also organizing a food drive at our IVC holiday party, which is going to be this Wednesday, the 8th, from 11:30 to 1:30 in the PAC. You're all welcome to attend. And this food that we are going to receive donations is going to benefit our EOPS students and their families. We have been working hard and continue to work hard on our logo and on our updating our website. Our next meeting is going to be during in-service week, January 7 at 12 noon, and our Chancellor is very, very welcome to attend to provide us with a little welcome. Thank you, and Feliz Navidad to all of you.
Oh, thank you so much. Shauna Morehouse, and you are the CSEA president.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
My last meeting, because I'm stepped down, so there will be a new president in January.
Okay.
CSEA is looking forward to positive and productive elections. We're in the middle of that, and they're going to be taking place December 16th, and we have 2 candidates for the president's position, 2 candidates for the first vice president's position, and 2 candidates for the secretary's position. So we're hoping to have new blood on the e-board. And I want to say welcome to all of those that are new and returning, and best wishes to those that are leaving. And instead of trying to name everybody, and time's getting long, so there you go. And I hope everybody has a very, very safe and peaceful and happy holidays with your families.
Thank you, Shauna. All right, and Russell Hamilton, president of Classified Senate.
Thank you, President Padberg. Sort of what Shauna alluded to is congratulations to all the returning trustees, our new trustee, Prendergast. John, you've been here a long time. It's been a pleasure working with you, and we sure are sorry to see you go. But good luck in your future endeavors, and come back and visit it whenever you want. Robina, without you, we could never have gotten through all these crazy meetings and all the information we needed to make them happen. You are going to be sorely missed.
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, I had the pleasure as the second vice chair of the Community College League of California to be the MC of the opening ceremonies. That day, it also was a pleasure to be able to introduce a keynote speaker that I personally know and that I personally have worked with. To that, this keynote speaker mesmerized the crowd, and I got to sit back and watch it, as we have watched him do to many other crowds. Thank you to Dr. Robert Bermucci for being there and showing them what this district has to offer. As a member of the board of the foundation, I did get to take and participate in the tour of the stadiums. It was most impressive, and there was many different ideas and concepts to look at to possibly enhance what we're discussing for Saddleback's new venue. This year we will be having a classified luncheon during Flex Week on Thursday from 12:30 to 2 o'clock. President Burnett has worked diligently with us to make sure that we can take and get as many people there as possible to take and enjoy that week. And happy holidays. Enjoy your New Year's, and we'll see you in January.
All right. Thank you very much. And that concludes our agenda. We will adjourn the meeting in honor and memory of Fred Bremer, the second Saddleback College president, Francisco Cinto, the Saddleback College custodian who recently passed away, and Nick Nicolino, I hope I pronounced that right, a part-time IVC policeman. Okay. Thank you.